iPhone on. Alright, because I don't have any tripod. You got it? You got it? I got it. Yeah. I got 3 angles. 1, 2, 3. Cameras everywhere. Today is August 8th. August 8th, 2019. The camera is right in my face. It's been a little over a month since I've arrived in my hometown in Czechia, and many things happened since then. I purchased a house. I put down a deposit on my next project, which is gonna be lots of fun because I pretty much have no idea what I'm doing. This is gonna be interesting. I've been deported from California on July 2nd. They sent me to Prague through Warsaw, direct flight from Los Angeles, LAX to Warsaw, Poland. So this is it. I just been through 7 weeks of hell, and now I'm on the way to Poland. But after I landed in Poland, I'm not ready to go straight back to Czechia. I need to think a little bit of what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go. I don't have any home in Europe, so I can pretty much go anywhere.
Tak, jestem kurwa w Polsce, ja pierdolę.
Any country I want within European Union. As soon as I arrived in Warsaw, I got an Airbnb room for a couple of nights. I've decided to fly over to beautiful southern Spain, to Malaga and Marbella. I also went to Gibraltar, enjoying the sun, the beach. After 2 months being detained in ICE holding facilities in Texas and California, I need some vacation. I need to clear my mind and think through my future plans, what I'm gonna do with my money. I still had the money from selling my house in Fayetteville. I need to start some kind of business, either keep doing what I was doing in United States, investing in real estate, or open a coffee shop. I need to get back home and reinvent my life. Eventually, I purchased a house. Today is Sunday, July 14th. Big house. The house is like super long. This could be my project because this is really nice house. Right next to playground, a nice quiet forest. This fence is really dangerous. So I already have my future project. Let me get to it. So when I was in Spain, I've decided I still need to come back to Czechia because that's where my permanent residency is. And if I need to take care of my legal stuff like my business licenses and mostly my debt issue that I still have, I need to come back here and take care of this stuff. So after a few days in Spain, I decided to fly back to Czechia, and on my way through Prague, I arranged for purchasing a used vehicle. I purchased this 2016 Volkswagen Passat. I went to AAA used auto lot. They even came over to the airport in Prague and picked me up. And I pre-arranged for purchasing that vehicle. I've done some research on it. I've been trying to choose between a few cars, but this Volkswagen Passat came on top. $15,500. 1 month later, I'm pretty happy with that purchase. It's got about 90,000 miles on it, which is not bad. It's really nice, comfortable car. It looks like new. It's got automatic transmission, 1.6 liter 4-cylinder diesel engine, which is like super good on fuel. I mean, the all-time average on this vehicle is 5.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which is like 43.5 miles per gallon. On highways, I get a little over 4 liters per 100 kilometers of diesel fuel, which is 55 miles per gallon. So I'm very happy with this because I don't spend too much money for gas. It gets me from point A to point B, comfortably and economically. So I'm pretty happy with my choice right now. And I got my, fingers crossed for this car to not cause me any major trouble before I'm ready to purchase a new vehicle. And I put it to work since day one. So I started driving around houses. I've seen a number of houses within near vicinity, and it didn't take long, and I put down a deposit on an interesting house close to downtown Ostrava. There was another investor interested in this house, but he took too long to make a decision, so I stepped in and signed signed reservation. I need to point out that I had no idea what I'm getting myself into. I just knew I need a house, I need a project to start working on as soon as possible, because I'm suspecting that this is not gonna be as easy as it is in United States, because over here I need to go through like a really complicated process of permits and stuff. Is this house in a good place? Am I paying a good price for it? I'm paying for this house 1.2 million Czech crowns, which is little over $52,000 at a current currency rate of 23 Czech crowns for $1. I don't know anything. I don't know if I'll be making profit on that house. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that house, if I'm gonna turn it into a single residence or if I'm gonna turn it into a multiple units. I had no idea. It's an old brick house that needs total overhaul. The basement has standing water in it with sump pumps installed, which is like really familiar scenario to me. At my previous project, I had the same problem with the moisture. I feel anxious only, thinking about it, that I'm gonna be going through the same issues. But then I realized, for the start, for me, it's not gonna get any better than this, because my funds are pretty limited at this point. Having these issues at the previous house, it gives me kind of heads up, because I already have experience with it, so I know how to deal with it a little bit. So it shouldn't be like a huge setback for me. So I just need to suck it at this point and just deal with it. Alright, the moisture is percolating up to the walls and the ground floor, and this needs to be taken care of in the first place. But overall condition of the house is very good. The house is straight, the walls don't have any cracks, so it all looks pretty good. The roof structure is in pretty good shape. All it needs is new sheet metal. First thing I need to do is to take care of that moisture. So I searched for contractors that deal with the moisture issues. So I called one of the contractors, and his name looked familiar. I might know this guy from way back when I was a kid, back in the ice hockey school. So as soon as I saw him stepping out of his Ford Transit van, I recognized him right away, even though he aged a little more than me. His name was Robert. Last time we saw each other was 30 years ago. He was a goalie. I was on the right wing. We used to hang out around the city together. At first he didn't recognize me, but it didn't take long and he caught up. He's running a company for demoisturizing old buildings. He's got this machine for undercutting the perimeter walls and installing stainless steel insulating plates into the masonry, which is supposed to be 100% effective. So he gave me some estimate, including insulating the floors as well. So that's how I'm starting to learn about everything over here. I just jump in and learn everything on the go. While I was driving around the houses, at one of the houses, the seller of the house, they had a project prepared. They had a blueprint drawings from one of the local architects. When he told me how much they quoted him for his house renovations, I thought this architect is gonna be pretty reliable and affordable. So I called him up. He came over to the house. He gave me a quote for having a blueprint drawn up for $13,000. As soon as I heard that number, I'm not paying this much money for just a blueprint. He also guesstimated $300,000 to renovate this house, which was like really discouraging me. At first, I didn't know what I'm gonna do with the house, but then I got this idea. I'm gonna turn this house into 3 separate row houses. Each of them will have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. That's my idea that I'm sticking with right now. When he quoted me $300,000 for this renovation, I was like really discouraged, and I do not have this much money. Everything needs to work out. I was like, okay, here's my email me detailed quote what I'm paying this money for. A few hours later, he emailed me the quote, but the quote was even more ridiculous. He wanted to charge me $44,000. He even upped the renovation cost from $300,000 to $400,000. What the hell? This quote didn't look adequate to me. This is not right. I have to find some other architect. So I started extensive search for another architect so I could get a building permit. I emailed a bunch of offices. I even entered my inquiry into a couple of online trading sites. 95% have been rejected, except just a couple of guys. This one guy offered to have that blueprint done for $5,500. He was really eager to have me signing the contract. And I was trying to delay it because I knew I still can probably get it a little bit cheaper. And then 5 minutes before noon, another local guy offered me to do the same job for $4,500. This would work out for me better because this new guy was local and the other guy was 5-hour driving distance, which wouldn't be good for the project, driving back and forth. I've decided to hire this new guy. I already paid him 50% deposit. I actually met up with that architect yesterday at the house. He took the initial measurements and he already started working on it. So I'm kind of glad that the wheels started turning slowly. It's going to be at least 2 months before the blueprint is ready. By that time, I should have my closing. The current owner of the house, she's older, retired lady who inherited the house after her son, who died prematurely due to alcohol abuse. So now she inherited the house together with his debts. There are liens on the house that needs to be taken care of, which is gonna take another extra month. So it's gonna be between 2 and 3 months before I can actually close on that house. And even after having the blueprint done, it's gonna take another 2 or 3 months to have all the permits ready. Building permit, the environmental permit, water treatment permit, rainwater permit, the health department permit, and I don't know what else permits I need. I need energy efficiency certificate, European Union crap, and I really hate it. Every step takes 30 days, they have 30 days for everything. So I won't be able to start working on that house until sometimes next year. In the meantime, I need to take care of my own debts. I mentioned that before. I have liens on my name as well. And this is like really ridiculous situation. I'm gonna try to explain like really quickly. 19 years ago, my vehicle has been stolen and I was supposedly receive final bill for insurance balance, but I never received that invoice and I left to United States in year 2000. During all these years, I had no idea I have some kind of debt here, and this debt turned into mandatory debt collection. If I owned anything, it would be automatically seized. All my salaries would be seized. And I learned about this debt last year when I was working in that manufacturing plant, and one day I received like really little paycheck. Like they left me almost no money to live. Right now I don't have any income because I can't really go to work. All my salary would have been seized for this ridiculous debt I have, which is $20,000. All right, 19 years ago the insurance invoice was $750, which grew over the years due to the accumulated interest to $20,000. So in the meantime, I'm in the process of negotiating with this debt collectors bureau to lower this interest down to acceptable amounts so I can pay for it and be done with it. So hopefully they will work it out with me so I can start living normal life here. Because of these debts, I can't even register my vehicle in my name. I'm still driving on the previous owner's license plate. plates. I can't even have my house registered at the Register of Deeds in my name at this time. It would get automatically seized. What I'm working on right now, I'm gonna have my house registered on my American company that I have in North Carolina. If the property is owned by offshore entity, they cannot touch it. But for that reason, I need to have some apostille documents mailed here from Secretary of State of North Carolina. The issue is not having the documents apostilled. The issue is they need me to provide them with a shipping label. But the American USPS website, the click and ship, is not working. It's really frustrating that I cannot generate that shipping label. So it's been like 2 weeks I've been trying to get that shipping label, and I already sent them email and I called them, and they said they are aware of that issue and they are trying to solve it, but they will not issue me a shipping label over the phone. I'm trying to ask them if there's a different option for being reimbursed for the shipping, but they don't want to help me out. So the shipping through USPS would cost me $35. Of course, there are other options like having it shipped through FedEx or UPS, but these people are charging $150 for flat rate legal size envelope having shipped overseas just for a few sheets of paper. It's crazy, but I'm willing to pay $35 for flat rate envelope if they have the website functional. So this is my situation right now. I'm trying to have those documents mailed. I keep complaining about how things suck in Czech Republic. Things don't go smooth in USA either. Don't get me wrong, Czech Republic, Czechia is a beautiful country. There is a couple of things that I really like. Number one, the beautiful women. Number two, the delicious food. Maybe one more thing, which is beer. But I'm not much of a beer drinker, but I pretty much hate everything else about this place. I hate how underdeveloped it is. Mostly is the infrastructure. It seems all the roads in Czech Republic are under construction. Anywhere you go, the road is under construction, which makes the traveling experience like really exhausting, dangerous, life-threatening, and people are still driving like retards. If they're gonna keep working on it, the pace they are working on it right now, they are never going to finish. They are never gonna fix these roads here. I use the interstate going to Prague when I traveled to Pilsen City to visit my daughter. She had a birthday while I was in Adelanto ice holding facility in California, and back then I told myself the first thing that I need to do when I get deported, I need to go see my daughter and bring her a present. So that's what I did. I brought her one of these Monster High dolls, and she was pretty happy about it. We had some fun. After I left, her mom told me that she wants to do this again, so hopefully I'll be seeing my daughter more often. A few things has been going on. My house, my debts, my family, and my new girlfriend. But most importantly, the house, because I really need to generate some kind of income very, very soon before I spend all my money. So my idea is to turn this single house into 3 separate row houses. I keep doing research. I keep searching for contractors and pricing and material pricing. I'm getting stronger and stronger feelings that this might be a pretty good project for me, and I could make a significant profit on it. So I'm paying $52,000 for this house, plus the renovating expenses, which will be about $150,000 roughly. And then I can sell each unit for about $130,000. I can make roughly probably $180,000 on that single house, which looks pretty good on paper, but only time will tell. I will not know how much I'll be able to make on that investment until it's done and sold. My fingers are crossed that everything's gonna work out well on this, my very first project in Europe, in Czechia, and hopefully this is gonna be a good jump start to turn it into something bigger than this. So I need to really watch my expenses. I have this accommodation which is pretty cheap. It's around $250 a month, which is not a whole lot. I really need to lay low and don't spend too much money because since I've sold my house in Fayetteville, North Carolina for $270,000, I walked away with $239,000. Since that December 2018, I already spent $40,000, so I really need to watch my expenses. I still have that storage unit back in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I need to retrieve my hard drives and my computers from that storage unit, so I don't need to keep paying for it. My former agent buddy, he offered he will go there and have my stuff shipped overseas. Hopefully, maybe next week he's gonna get it done. He went there last week, but once he saw all my crap and couldn't locate all the stuff I needed, he decided that he needs to come back after he gets back from vacation. I just don't want to keep paying $185 a month for that unit anymore. And the last but not the least information for this video is that I have a new girlfriend. I met her on Tinder. This is very important because after 6 years of abstinence, I made love to a young woman. She's half my age. I'm 44, she's 22. So we're driving around the country and visiting some places and having lots of sex at the back seat of my Volkswagen Passat. So this is it for today's update, how my things are developing. Hopefully everything turns to the better. I've been working out my calisthenics, trying to stay in shape. This is it. I already started working on that video that's gonna cover my story since I signed that contract back in November 2018 until just recent, including my unsuccessful attempt crossing the Mexican border and then 2 months in detention. So I'm gonna cover all that in detail. So there's still a lot to talk about. So this is it for today's update. Stay tuned for more videos coming up. And I'm just so tired of this computer. I need to get out of here and get some air. See ya.